Hi, and welcome to this edition of The Buzz, which is a show broadcast right out of Abington High School in the Abington Cam Studios, where we try to bring you all up to date on everything that's going on in Abington Green Wave sports, and we try to introduce you to some of the names and people that are playing in some of our Abington High School teams. Names you might recognize, players you might want to get to know a little bit better. And today we're going to focus our attention on our softball and our baseball teams. We're going to start off with two of our members of our Abington Green Wave softball team. Seated to my left are sophomore Elsie Testa and senior Callie, Pineau. I want to welcome you on board the set, ladies.
Thanks for having us.
This has been an outstanding year for Abington Green Wave softball. You guys are undefeated in the league. You have one loss, which we'll talk about because you kind of went back and beat that same team again.
Yep.
Or evened it out. But before we started taping the show, you thought, even though you're undefeated now in the league, you guys were talking about, at the beginning of the season, you weren't really sure how good you were going to be. Why was that?
So coming off the season, we just lost 5 of our starting players, so we thought it was going to be a rebuilding year. But we played 2 strong teams at the beginning of the season, which really proved that we could be good.
Yeah. It was like Pembroke and Braintree.
Yeah.
It was?
Yeah. And I feel like a lot of the teams that we were playing, they didn't think we were going to be good, but we showed up and worked hard. And then once we beat those 2 teams that Callie was just talking about, we
were definitely underdogs going into it because everyone was like, oh my God, they're losing so much people. But I don't know. We came out really good.
Because you had a great season last year.
Yeah.
Tremendous as a junior and as a freshman. Mm-hmm. I personally was looking forward to this year because I could see what you guys had as freshmen, sophomore, juniors. That what's coming up. The exposure you guys got last year just had you ready for this year. And true enough, I mean, you guys are on fire. Right? Everyone's talking about Abington softball right now. 8-0 in the league. At this point in the season, we're approaching the very end of the season and getting ready for playoffs.
Yeah.
I want to talk to you about the one loss you had to Notre Dame, because when you played them a second time, what happened?
We won.
Talk about that game. I was at that game. That was a great game.
It was awesome.
It was really good.
It was 0-0 going into the 8th inning. We had our last at bats. I got up and hit a single, and then there was a passed ball, so I stole to second. Casey hit a single in the outfield, and I rounded third and went home. And
Casey Bailey with the RBI to win the game, right?
Yeah.
Yep, her walk-off.
You have a lot of just talent all over the place. Elsie, you are a sophomore pitcher, and you are just lighting it up in the league. You're just mowing down batters. But one of the things that makes you, I think, we were talking, again, cheating before we got on air, what makes you so comfortable and so confident are the players behind you?
Yeah. Basically, even if we have bases loaded, I trust my team. I'm obviously not going to throw it, right over the plate, but, I'm going to throw them a strike. I know. If they hit it, Callie or, Brenna, they're always making great plays, and all the outfielders.
What position you play?
I play center field.
You're center. So tell me, what's the lineup on a typical day?
I have Reilly on the left and
Riley
Ava.
Agnew?
Yes, Ava DePietro on the right. Jess Blythe first base. Madison McDonald second. She's a freshman, so.
Wow.
Yeah, she's having a really good season.
Yeah, she is. And then Brenna Howley shortstop. Malia, what's her name? Goldberg, yeah, third base. She's also a freshman. And then Elsie pitcher and Casey Bailey catching.
Yeah, it's unique because in softball, the pitcher, you pitch almost every game, right? Whereas in baseball, they rotate a lot. Who are the other pitchers on your team?
Ella Franey, she's in 8th grade, and she pitched against, who did she pitch against? She pitched recently.
Yeah.
She did really good.
I don't remember.
As an 8th grader, it's a great opportunity to be there in such a good quality team. Now, Elsie, I'm just going to read some stats so people at home know, all right? She's allowed 15 earned runs in 16 starts for an ERA of .946. And for people who don't know what that means in a 7-inning softball game, Elsie is giving up no more than 1 run a game to the opposition on average. So there's been many shutouts and all. She's got 149 strikeouts, which averages a little bit over 9 strikeouts for every game, which is outstanding. I mean, I got to assume that other teams, when they're getting ready to play you, are like, oh no, we got to come up against that Testa kid, right? How do you feel? Is there anyone that you really like or I'll ask you both this question. What's the team you want to beat? You really want to play against?
Well, we beat Middleborough.
Yeah, we
That
every
was like
year.
a really big win.
I've been waiting to beat them since my freshman year.
Well, it's the first time in 4 years.
Yes.
Yeah,
right, that
that
you
was
beat
like a
Middleborough.
huge
Yep.
win. We were all so excited after that.
It's like every day before the season, we make like a goals list, and
Yeah.
Middleborough is always
They're
on there
always
to
on
beat
there.
them.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
The Sachems, huh?
Yeah.
They're a
Take
good
them down.
team.
Yep.
And
They
you
always
did.
had like good players.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was probably the team that we like wanted to beat the most.
They're definitely, I would say they're our rivals too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because we always want to beat them, and we want to like prove that we're good and we can
Yeah.
beat them.
So your team as a whole, all right, team stats, batting average is 365, which is outstanding. 43 doubles, 8 home runs, 46 stolen bases, 154 runs. You guys do it all. Like Elsie mentioned, you have such a great, strong defense, whether it goes out the outfield or the infield.
Yeah.
Plays really well. Casey behind the plate. But also, up and down the batting order, everybody's contributing.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you're seeing it every game. You don't know who the star is going to be. Do you get to hit as a pitcher?
Yeah,
you
I do.
Right? It's not the designated hitter. in softball. Do you enjoy being out on the mound as much as you do on being up at batter? Is really you just like being out on the mound?
I think I like being like on base too. I mean, I like hitting, probably pitching more, but like, I don't know.
How about you, Callie?
I don't know. I think I also like the part of like scoring, getting on base, that
Yeah.
excitement feeling. But like when you have like a great play in the outfields and just have a great play, like everyone's so excited and it's
Yeah.
just like so like happy.
One thing with softball games, it's never quiet.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
The chanting, the songs, everything from the dugouts from both teams.
Yeah. We have great fans too. Whenever Elsie throws a strike or a strikeout, they're like cheering.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is.
That
really-
definitely helps.
Yeah.
And I feel like the bench, like we're always cheering. We try to always be up because that definitely helps. Like no matter who we're playing,
Yeah.
we like everyone's always loud, and that like definitely helps
Yeah.
us too.
Baseball, softball. I played baseball when I was in high school. It's very like an emotional game. You always want to be kind of having fun.
Yeah.
You want to be loose. You don't know what the next thing's going to do. I mean, you might stand out in the outfield for 3 innings and not have a ball hit to you, and then all of a sudden, one pitch, you're making the game-saving catch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you're throwing out or holding a runner at second or whatever. So everyone has to be ready for the next pitch.
Yeah.
When Elsie's pitching, there aren't many hits, but you know that's a good thing too.
Yep.
Youth softball. You both are products of youth softball.
Yes.
Abington?
Yeah.
Tell us about that. How important was that for you? Do you need to play youth softball to play at high school level, or what are the benefits?
I played youth softball. You did too,
I
right?
also played youth
I think it definitely helped me because like I started to really enjoy it. So then I started to play club, and I think that like got me a lot better for high school. But we do have a few people who haven't like played before,
Yeah.
and they are playing high school now, and that's like totally fine.
Yeah.
They're
I
doing
think it
good.
definitely helps, like being on the starting lineup and just being a good team. Like I feel like when you're a well-rounded team, you want like the good players, the people that play club. But having a youth is also very good
Yeah.
because you build like relationships when you're younger,
Right.
and then when you grow up, you play high school together. You play like,
Yeah.
your whole life together with the same girls.
We
Yeah.
always talk almost with every team in high
Yeah.
school. It's sometimes the bus rides are most memorable. You
Yeah.
know, to or from a game, especially coming home from a win or whatever. Just that team bonding, that team camaraderie. I'm sure some of you guys hang out together socially outside of
Yeah.
softball. And what really impresses me is in Abington, I'm sure it happens in other schools though too, but the seniors, obviously they're the leaders, but they make the sophomores feel comfortable, and
Yeah.
the juniors feel comfortable, and the freshmen, 8th graders feel comfortable. It's really, I think you guys set a nice tone that there's no I in the word team. You know, everyone's
Yeah.
kind of contributing.
Yeah.
Tell me about Coach Olam, Jenna Olam. Is she kind of one of those coaches that's barking from the dugout, or is she kind of more of a let's kind of stay loose?
I feel like
What's
it
it like?
depends.
I think she is a serious coach, takes the game very good, but she like knows when to have fun and like when
Yeah.
it should be like,
Good mix.
yeah,
Good mix. Great.
Yeah.
I think she like made sure like she's got us prepared. for,
yeah,
like,
definitely. She makes us prepared for the
Yeah.
tough games.
Mentally.
Everything, yeah.
and
yeah.
Yeah.
Doing your drills and practice
Yep.
and all.
I feel
And
like
she'll
at
be
practice-
honest. When we play
Yeah.
like good teams, like she'll be honest.
She'll
that
tell
we're-
us
we're
like what we
good.
need to look out for,
Yeah.
and then like we'll have like a harder
and like
practice.
even what we need to improve on.
Yeah. And I think that definitely helps us a lot.
Yeah.
Like to get us like where we are now.
And I think there's a lot of. It's important for the players on the field to be communicating with each other.
Yes.
On the outside,
Yeah.
what the position, what the situation is, or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and having that good mix. Had just had the pleasure of going to Boston University to watch one of your softball graduates, Lauren
yeah.
Kelleher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch them win the Patriot League. It was fascinating, and talk about loud and proud from the dugouts. That was great to see that at the collegiate level. Let me give you a couple of other stats that your coach gave us about some of these outstanding players. Casey Bailey, who we mentioned, is a senior catcher.
Yeah.
She's batting .540 right now with 17 RBI, 6 doubles, and 2 home run. .540 is basically,
Crazy.
she gets hit more often than not every time she gets up. Brenna Howley, batting .456 with 19 runs scored, 13 RBI, 11 doubles, and 2 home runs. Riley Agnew leads the team again with 19 RBIs, and this woman named Callie Pineau batting .359, 17 RBI, 19 runs scored, 9 doubles, and in total right now thus far in the season, you guys have scored 154 runs. Your opponents have scored 24 runs.
Yeah, that's pretty
Some of
good.
those stats are new to me.
Yeah.
That was really good.
Pretty dominating, pretty special.
Yeah.
I mean, to bat over 250 for baseball or softball you're a pretty good batter.
Yeah.
But, Callie, you're at 359 right now.
Yeah.
And for Casey to be at 540 is just
Yeah.
impressive.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Wow.
Never mind what you got out there on the mound, kind of mowing them down, which is great. You're limiting the number of base runners out there. It's just a great game. I know we had a lot of improvements to your softball field recently with brand new dugouts, brand new backstop.
It looks so good.
One of the finer places to play now in the league. But when you're not playing in Abington, is there a field or a school that you kind of look forward to or enjoy playing at? Or is home the place you want to be?
I feel like I love our new dugouts now.
I think our field has
It's
looked
like
so much
nice.
better.
Yeah.
I look back at it when I was a freshman and sophomore.
Yeah.
And like now it looks just like an actual like high school field.
Yeah.
So many teams are like coming to the field and they're like, oh, it looks
Yeah.
so good.
And just for viewers at home who aren't familiar with it, we just put in some new dugouts down at the girls softball field. And that money was provided by the Community Preservation Act and the American Rescue Plan, the Infrastructure Act from the federal government. So that was a great investment that we just finished for this season. And it's paying dividends. Now you're undefeated, right? So everything's kind of gelling here. Talk about the other seniors on the team. Got, what do we have, 4 seniors?
Yeah.
So we have, you're one of them, Callie, and then Ava, DePietro, Casey, and Jessica, right?
Yeah.
4 good leaders. We're going to miss all 4 of you. In fact, what are you doing next year, Callie?
I'm attending Providence College.
If you couldn't tell by the shirt that she's wearing right there, she's wearing it with pride. Congratulations.
Thank you.
She's going to be a Friar. What are you going to do at Providence, do you know?
I'm going to play club hockey, and my major is finance.
Oh, wonderful. I should ask both of you. Other than softball, what do you play? And yours is hockey,
I saw.
I play volleyball.
volleyball. How long have you been playing volleyball?
Like 2 years or a year.
Fun?
Yeah. It's fun.
It is a great game. It is a lot of fun. It's starting to get more and more attention now that it's kind of newer to Abington High School. Hockey, what position you playing in hockey?
Center.
And you were in the joint team with, was it Norwell?
Norwell, Situate, Abington.
Norwell, Situate. Put your name in the paper quite a lot this year.
Yeah.
You did very well in hockey, so I wish you the best of luck as
Thank
a
you.
Friar, not too far away from home.
Yep.
So we're approaching the playoffs. We have already clinched the Social League Championship.
Yeah.
Congratulations, ladies.
Thank you.
What are you expecting out of the playoffs? Do you think it's going to be a tough run, or you think you're going to go pretty deep?
I think we can do it.
I think we can do it.
Even when our bats aren't going, I feel like our defense is so strong that we keep runners from getting in.
We do.
And that's something that it's really good to have on a team.
It really is. I mean, your defense has allowed only 24 runs out of 17 games, and you've only made 23 errors in 17 games, which, in softball, third base, first base, the infield is really close.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're talking about it, how fast are your pitches? What do you get clocked at?
I haven't been clocked in a little bit. Probably 50, something like high 50s.
From 40-something feet, where's the mound?
43?
Yeah.
I mean, if you go to a softball game and you watch how quickly the ball comes in, jeez. I mean, guys like Henry Rogers and Steve Madden could never hit the ball.
Yeah, I know.
Right? So, but, if someone does get a good shot and it comes down third, but that ball's flying around.
Yeah.
Right? So to have a couple of errors in a game is not unexpected, but for you guys to limit it to only 23 out of 17 games is, just like you said, having that defense is outstanding and really bodes well for you guys. Now that you're wrapping up your senior year, some of your really, I think, tell me how much you enjoyed playing sports at Abington High School. How big of a part of your life was it here?
It's like the best. My whole high school career, like I could always fall back on sports. Like I could go to sports and be like, it's just like mental like relief and like stress free.
Yeah.
As a sophomore, you've got 2 more years to look forward to. I take it that sports is always going to be a part of your career. You know, it's an extracurricular activity.
Yeah.
You've been doing this since you were just a little kid, right? I know a little bit more about you through your dad. What are your goals for the next 2 years?
Just like keep getting better and like throwing harder. I'll work like during the off season again and keep going to pitching lessons. But like Callie said, like softball's like a huge part of me. It's not even just like playing. It's like all my teammates and like I just have so much fun like with them.
Well, I got to wish you both the best of luck in the postseason.
Thank you.
Really looking forward to watching some of these games, especially now that the weather's getting warmer. It's easier for the fans to get down there, and we really invite Abington Green Wave Nation to get down there and watch the softball the postseason. You can check on arbiterlive.com or get on Twitter and follow the Abington Athletic Director, or just kind of talk to any of the girls to find out when these upcoming games are going to be. We're going to take a quick break. I want to thank you for joining us, ladies, but we're going to switch out and bring some of the members of the baseball team and see what they might have to say about you guys and their team.
Thank you.
We'll be back in just a few minutes, but thank you to Elsie and to Callie for joining us on The Buzz.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You're so right for me, and I'm right for you. I love the things you do, like sweet tasting wine. Your lips are so divine. Your loving turns me on. My lonely days are gone. That's why I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna let you go, babe. I'm never gonna let you go. No, no, never gonna let you go.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we are back for the second portion of The Buzz, and we are going to continue our discussion with some of our spring sports athletes at Abington High School. So joining me now are 3 members of our Abington Green Wave baseball team. We got 3 of the seniors, Henry Rogers, Steve Madden, and John Sellon, all joining us here at the set for The Buzz. Guys, welcome aboard. Not only are you guys 3 seniors, but you are also the 3 captains of the baseball team, and you are also the 3 pitchers for the baseball team, right?
Yep.
So
sure are.
you guys, like I would call you the 3 amigos, I guess. Been a great season for Abington Green Wave baseball. We talked about softball. You were watching us tape that. They've had a tremendous year. You guys have had an exciting year, heading towards the playoffs. It's been a great season. Did you guys think moving into the beginning of the season that it was going to be a solid year, or were you kind of a little bit concerned about where you were heading?
You know, I feel like there's a lot of pressure on us because we've had so much success in the past few years.
Yeah.
And then, like, it's all like coming to realization that like this is it for us. So I think in that aspect there's just more pressure, but like we knew that we'd be a solid team because we have been, and like all seniors now. So yeah. Steve,
Talk about it. There's like out of the 9 starting players, how many are seniors?
We have 7 starting seniors, and the other 2 catchers, Cam Cooper's a sophomore, and then center fielder, pitcher, left fielder, Ryan Solomini is also a sophomore.
Which is a heavily senior-laden team, right? You don't see that often, but sometimes you really want to take advantage of it. And Henry, you're one of the senior leaders. Good senior class, good guys. Really important when you're playing baseball that there's that camaraderie, that kind of enjoying playing with each other, right? What's the sense of the Abington Green Wave? Is this like a fun team to play with?
We're honestly just like literally just a bunch of friends is what it feels like. I mean, this is our 4th year together. We've all been together at least 2 years, like a whole crew.
Yeah.
But you know, we're all friends. We've been friends forever. So it's like we're just going there. We have fun. I think the biggest challenge this year though has been like because of our past success, we have like a big target on our back. So every game we're facing an ace. So every game has always been a challenge. But I mean, we've been ups and downs. We've been going through it together.
That's true. I mean, you guys do have a reputation that you've built as underclassmen, as Abington Greenway baseball is going to give you a game every time you play them. And you're right, you are getting some of the best pitchers from the other teams coming to try to mow you down. Yeah. But James and John, you guys have done a pretty good job of getting on base, you're in every game, basically, right? There's been a couple of heartbreaking losses. There's been some thrilling victories. Mm-hmm. Who are the teams that you guys, again, I like to ask this question, who do you like to play? Who do you like to beat? I'll ask all three of you that question. Who do you got? Who's your favorite, James?
For me, probably Norwell, because we're friends with a bunch of kids. We play in the summer with them. Yeah. Or Middleborough. They're always fun to play.
They're a good program at Middleborough.
They're always good, yeah.
Yeah. John, who do you like playing?
I like playing East Bridgewater, and I feel like it's always a very low-scoring, competitive game, and I feel like we both bring out the best in each other. It's always fun to play against them.
Yeah, you really know each other, those two teams, those two programs, and every time no matter what sport we're playing, it's like you never know how that game's going to end. What about you, Henry?
They said the ones I would have said.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like every game with our bench, it becomes a little bit of a fun game. But I think, we always want to beat Middleborough. They've always been a challenge to us in the last 2 years. We've been fortunate enough to beat them. East Bridgewater is always a challenge for us. I mean, those games are always close. They're always a close, good game, so always fun.
So let me ask you a question. Usually baseball is kind of a mild game. It's kind of quiet. You're playing the game. But for some reason, there's been this kind of tradition that's been built in Abington that it is a loud, obnoxious game in some points, that your bench is loud. I mean, you are just... If you haven't been to a game, you gotta go and listen to this and watch. Do you guys just feed off of that energy? I mean, you have to, I guess. You can't ignore it. What do you, James? You hear the calls?
Yeah.
Well, I guess especially when you're up at bat, you get a lot of support behind you coming out of the dugout.
Yeah, definitely. I think the way our bench is like yelling at the other team, kind of, I think it gets in their heads and they kind of play the game that they're not used to playing, like an intense game, like when their bench starts yelling at us, and then that's the game we love, is chippy games like that.
Mm-hmm. Did I just call you James again?
You did call me James.
Stephen, sorry. He's got a twin brother, James. Sorry, Stephen. And John, same thing. I mean, I almost kind of like to see when a team comes to Abington that hasn't been here for a while, and they're almost like taken aback, like what the heck is going on with these guys are catcalling me.
Yeah, I mean, as a pitcher, when the other team gets loud, it's honestly obnoxious, and it's very easy to get in your own head, especially if you hear them screaming. So I think that we all understand that, and we think that it's like just an advantage for us if we get into their head early.
Yeah,
just paves the way for errors and all things that could benefit us.
Now you guys also play music between the innings, and you play walk-up songs as you go to bat. Do a lot of the other schools do that, or are you kind of unique in that regard?
Haven't been many schools that do that.
I feel like no. I mean, we just played Monomoy. Monomoy had walk-up songs.
Monomoy, I think, is the only other team we played.
Who else had music?
Norwell had walk-up songs.
Norwell
yeah,
did,
Norwell. A couple. I think they're kind of catching on.
Yeah.
It's fun, but you just gotta get the speaker. You gotta have someone man the speaker. But I mean, besides that, it's not too difficult.
Who does the song selections for you guys?
Richie's been doing it, right?
Mason.
Oh yeah, Mason and Richie have been doing ours.
So what's your walk-up song?
Mine is "Bad Reputation" by Joan Jett.
How about yours?
Mine's "That's It" by Future and Lil Uzi Vert.
Mine's "Unwritten" by Natasha Bedingfield.
Now, do you guys mix it up during the season, or if you get into a slump, do you change the song, or you kind of stick with it?
I do one per year. That's it.
Yeah.
Just one.
I definitely change my song if I'm struggling.
Yeah.
I've been changing it up too, but "Unwritten" is definitely my go-to to get out of a slump. Yeah.
Kind of just pumps you up and gets you ready to rock.
Absolutely.
So let me throw out some stats for the viewers at home as to who these guys are. Right, John Sellon, sitting down there at the end of the table, leads the pitching staff with 3 wins, 42 strikeouts, and 38 innings pitched. He's hitting .286 with an on-base percentage of .455, leads the team with 6 runs scored. That's a pretty well-rounded list of statistics there for you, both as an offensive pitcher. When you're not pitching, where are you playing?
Center field.
You like that?
I love it.
Why?
I mean, it's definitely a lot less pressure than being on the mound, but I think, honestly, one of the most fun things is chasing down the balls that get hit to you. I mean, there's not a better feeling than making like a diving play or being able to throw someone out. So.
That's why I think it's great having a pitcher out in the outfield, because when you are trying to throw someone out who's tagging up, whatever, the other team doesn't always know who's out there, and all of a sudden this guy with the southpaw, the canny, he's a left-handed thrower. That's a great weapon to have as a center fielder out there.
Thank you.
Mr. Madden, Stephen Madden, second on the pitching staff with 3 wins and 31 strikeouts, leading the team with a .362 batting average and 16 RBI. How's that, huh? I mean, you are when you get on your hot streaks when you're at the plate, you are someone that pitchers just can't get by. I mean, what is it? You just have a great eye for the ball. Do you like to hit the breaking ball? Are you a fastball hitter? What are you?
I'm mostly a fastball hitter. I would say I struggle with curveballs for the most part. So I've changed my approach this year. Try to get on the fastball early in the count, and try to avoid the curveballs, change-ups, whatever. So that's kind of worked somewhat this year.
And there must be one or two pitchers out there in the opposing teams that you guys know, like, this guy's good, and we got to get to him early.
Yeah.
What teams have that type of pitcher out there?
The East Bridgewater, Jaden Lavelle, he was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We only got 1-2 hits off of him. He had like 13 strikeouts. But the Norwell pitch, they had a good pitcher.
St. John Paul.
St. John Paul had a good
Yeah.
pitcher.
We're facing everyone's ace, so we're always getting a good game no matter what.
Which is great because it gets you ready for the playoffs.
Yeah.
When you know you're going to get some of the best pitchers in Eastern Massachusetts coming at you. Of course, they're going to get you guys coming at them. So in Henry, you've been the closer for most of the year,
I've
huh?
been in relief.
So you come in relief at the end in the 5th, 6th, 7th inning, or whatever, kind of shake it up. All of a sudden, they get the left-handed thrower, and then they come to you, a right-handed throw. You like to throw junk, or you like to throw?
I'm a junk ball. I
Yeah.
don't throw hard. Throw junk.
So you kind of like just kind of screw up with the batter's timing now with a different speed. And you had a complete game victory, I heard, the other night.
Yes.
Friday night. Tell me about that one.
So it was the end of the week. We already had, it was the 4th game of the week, right?
Yeah,
So, I mean, in baseball, you can really only, throw, we have pitch counts and stuff, so
Right.
all of us, like, went one game each. So, John went, how'd it go? You go first, or did Steve go first?
Steve went
I
first
went
now.
Monday.
Steve went on Monday, he went on Tuesday, and then we had games on Thursday and Friday, but we got rained out, so we had to play a doubleheader. So Ryan Solomon, he went complete game on the first game, and I went complete game the second game. So it all worked out. But
And you had the benefit of, let's talk about where you played. It was pretty cool. Usually we don't want to play 4 games in a week because the pitcher's rotation, you're required to take certain breaks and limited the number of pitches you can throw. But in this case, it lined up. You had 2 games down on the Cape on Thursday, Friday. They were scheduled. Thursday got rained out. So tell us what happened on Friday. They rearranged everything. We played a doubleheader, which you don't see a lot in high school.
No, it was. We said it was almost like AAU. Like it just felt like we were going down for an AAU doubleheader. We played Mashpee at 3:30, I want to say, and then we played Monomoy right after. So it's just 2 games back to back. We played it at White House Field, which is a Cape League field. It was so beautiful.
In Harwich, right?
Yeah,
Which is
beautiful.
Monomoy's home field, I guess?
Yes.
What was that like playing there, Stephen, on a Cape League baseball field? I mean, that's fun.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was a little chilly, probably a little windy, but other than that, the dirt was nice. The grass was kind of slow, but for the most part, it was nice, really nice. Definitely the best field I've played on this year.
Speaking of playing on grass, John, you've played. I mean, some of you played on turf fields, turf baseball fields, which is kind of a new, unique thing. Some of the Catholic schools have the turf fields. Abington High School has grass fields. Most towns have grass fields. Tell me about the difference between, especially as a center fielder, when you're playing on a grass field versus a turf field. How does that change your game?
With when you play on grass, it's more unpredictable because they can take all kinds of different like hops and bumps and stuff like that. But with turf, it's much faster, but everything is pretty consistent. Like if it bounces in front of you, you know where it's going to go.
Yep.
And if you hit like a line drive, it's going to keep rolling on turf. Whereas with grass, the grass tends to slow it down a little bit.
Yeah. And as a shortstop and a third baseman, you must have similar comments about playing on turf versus grass. I mean, tell me about the different reaction time you got.
I like when the ball is hit harder at me, so turf definitely makes the ball harder. So I prefer turf over grass.
Now you say you like it when it's hit harder. It's because you don't think, you just react. And it's
when
like,
I think, that's when I throw it away, misplay it, or whatever.
yeah, it's a baseball thing, right? I totally understand that. If it just comes quick at you, you know what, your body just kind of reacts to it.
Yeah.
And you just gun out the guy at first. But if it's a hard one down the box at third base, same thing.
I agree. I mean, on grass, especially at Abington, even though we got the field redone, it's still a little tough to mess with. And those slow ones, I feel like, get me more than the harder ones.
Yeah.
You stay back and you got more time to throw the ball. I think turf is it's more consistent, the bounces you're going to
True.
get.
Oh yeah, 100%. Right. Different game. We played in a state championship out west somewhere. I forget, Springfield or whatever it was.
Springfield College.
Yep. That was a turf field. It's just a different feel. Yeah. Tell me about some of your teammates now. Who do we got now? The catcher doing a pretty good
Cam
job this
Cooper,
year.
he's a sophomore. He stepped into the role.
Yeah.
He's done a great job. He's just working hard.
He's replacing all-star catcher, and everyone was worried, like, what are we going to do? We were going to get a catcher, and Cam has really played well this year. Who else you got out there? Who's going around the infield? Who's at first?
AJ Nash. He's a stud. I think he's
Solid.
my favorite player on the team.
He's a brick
He's
wall.
always saving
Nothing
us.
gets past him.
Yep.
Yeah, he does a great job with the picks, the scoops at first base when the third baseman or shortstop throws it short. You still get AJ there to make it.
Yep,
I was a
always.
first baseman, so I don't mind a good scoop, if it's coming straight
Nothing
at you. Who else? We got second base.
Jake
Jake
Centrella.
Centrella.
He's
Centrella.
been solid all year too.
Solid all
I don't
year.
think he's made one error.
Really?
Yeah, no, he's been killing it out there.
How's the shortstop? Kind of shaky?
He's all right.
Steve Madden. And then third base, Henry. Henry, when you're pitching, who's over at third?
Colin Crocker.
Okay,
And when he pitches, I'll go to short as well.
Great.
So we flip around a little bit.
John, who's your outfielders, your fellow outfielders?
On the left of me in right field is Pat Cummings. Been a stud all year, killing it at the plate, and he is probably the strongest arm I've seen ever. It's unbelievable.
He's got a great arm.
Yeah, as a right fielder, you don't usually anticipate the right fielder having a strong arm, but Cummins does. He's also batting .363 this season.
Yeah,
with
no,
14
he's
RBIs.
killing it. Yeah.
So Pat Cummings is really contributing. And then left field,
Left field switches between Ryan Salmini, who is a sophomore, and he's great.
Yeah.
He's bats leadoff. He's been killing it up there as well, and he's a stud defensively too. Makes all the plays. Not one ball gets past him.
he made a couple of great catches out there in left field.
And then when I pitch, he moves to center field, and Colin Crocker moves to left, and he's also been great out there too. Like, I feel confident in every single one of our players that if the ball gets hit, that we're going to make the play.
Yeah, similar to what the softball ladies were saying earlier. It's like it's great being a pitcher, knowing that you've got a great defense behind you. I mean, sometimes you want to let them hit the ball. I mean, if there's a guy in first, ground ball, great. Might be a double play,
Exactly.
right? Pop-up's great. You're going to get it. And you guys are always in every play with that, with the guys out there defensively. Because baseball, like softball, is you got to have you have to have offense and defense.
Mm-hmm.
If you're strong with one but not the other, you're not going to go very far, right?
Yeah.
So, you guys feeling like you guys are gelling, getting ready for the playoffs?
Yeah.
I think we're getting hot at the right time. We lose like 3-4 in a row?
We had a 3-game skid. It wasn't, again, we're
Wasn't
playing good
pretty.
teams. They're always super close games, and we just weren't playing our best baseball. I think the doubleheader though helped us out.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely.
Brought us a lot tighter together. Not that we weren't tight, but I just think like as a team and playing together and like coming back from like tough games, I think that was helpful for
Energy
us.
definitely shifted after
Yeah,
that.
energy shifted
Good.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's real. Baseball can be a real momentum thing,
Oh,
right?
yeah, 100%.
And there's always that decision with a lot of the sports, but especially like baseball, softball. Like, we can set up our non-league games with some easy opposition to kind of increase our win-loss record,
Yeah.
or you can set up yourself to play some tough teams to get ready for the playoffs. And I think you guys have done that, right? I mean, you've played some really good teams. You're challenging yourselves, and they come to Abington. Some of them think like, oh, this should be a win for us, and all of a sudden it's like. It's not, and these guys are really loud in the dugout. What's going on here? What got you into baseball? Well, let me ask you before that. What other sports do you play, if any?
I played golf.
Golf, are you any good?
I played the 7 and the 8 with
Yep.
Zach Butchergrass in the fall. We did good. We won the South Shore League. It was a lot of fun.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Gentlemen,
I only play baseball.
Just baseball.
Just baseball.
focus, right?
Absolutely.
And obviously, today at Abington High School happens to be the day that you wear your shirt, where you're going. So talk to me about where you're going next year after you graduate.
I'm going to St. Mike's for baseball up in Vermont. I'm very, very excited.
Which a lot of people say Vermont. Wait, you go to Vermont to play baseball? I
Yeah.
mean, it snows up there, right? But it's beautiful up there.
Very nice. I really liked it up there.
Yeah, it's really nice. My daughter went to UVM for a year and a half, so right down the street. And Nichols?
I'm going to Nichols College in Dudley, Mass. It's
Great.
probably an hour and a half away.
So just
Not too
far enough away
Yeah.
from home, but close enough to get back if you
Yeah.
need to.
Exactly.
And what are you doing next year?
I'm going to be joining the trades working in HVAC.
So you're going to be a very successful businessman in several years with the HVAC
Very
background.
excited, yeah.
Yeah, that'll be great. So just write down that name, John Sellon. A couple of years from now, you need something fixed. He's going to be the man to go to.
Call me up.
As seniors, you have a heavily laden senior team, but it's also your job to kind of get the younger guys ready to go. And we talked briefly about the JV baseball team, the program. They're doing pretty well.
Yeah.
Who are some of the kids down there that you really think we're going to be calling their names next year?
Jake ticking off for sure. He's
Jake
been
Tick.
a monster down
Shane
there.
Sullivan. I mean, Tyler Stady's been like a swing a little bit. He'll be starting.
Will Callahan.
Will Callahan. Who else
Yeah.
we got?
You got Chris Patterson too.
Chris Patterson.
Yep.
There's a ton of just like that sophomore class is stacked. They got a lot of kids.
Coach Brown's been doing a very great job down there
Yeah.
with that team.
Yeah, it's fun to watch. We're hoping this fall we're going to build a brand new JV baseball diamond out in what we call the Dust Bowl. Because Abington has a unique situation where when there's a varsity and a JV baseball game going on, the outfields overlap. And John, as an outfielder, you know, there are times when the outfielders on the two different games are playing or standing next to each other.
I'm always chatting it up with the right fielder on JV.
Yeah. I mean, it can be dangerous, you know, but as long, you know, when there's a ball hitting the gap, you guys just start yelling.
Yeah,
right?
no, we all, me and the person who was out there are always talking, like, if there's a ball hit out here, just let me know. Just say something.
It's been that way for a long time, and it's always been a concern. And we had the opportunity this year to get it done, and the town voted to approve it with some community preservation funds, so it would be a much safer place for Abington. But it also will open up that entire area as one large lawn area for future practices, but whether it be youth football or varsity football or some of the youth sports, and for just general enjoyment of Memorial Field. Let's talk briefly before we wrap about the fan base. You guys got a pretty good Green Wave Nation following there.
Always.
Yeah, talked about that, how much you appreciate seeing those people in the stands.
My family's always there. I think all of our families are always there.
Yeah.
Everyone's parents are there, no matter what. You always got the same little crews that are there, and usually, you know, once it gets warmer out, we get more students there and stuff. It's always packed. I just think it's like a good view up on the hill, and they like coming.
It is a good place to
you
watch.
got the
it.
music and stuff, so it's a good time, and we enjoy it. I usually take it in, and there's always so many people there supporting us.
We're all
It's
very
awesome.
appreciative of it.
Yeah.
Like, we think that it's great to have so much support out there, and there's no better feeling than playing a game for fans out there.
Yeah,
Especially after a win, going up
Yeah.
to see all of them is great.
that's true after the game and
Yeah.
all. And I think you guys got a cool relationship with the softball program where, you know, where when usually, or if baseball's home, softball's away on the same day, and vice versa. But there are times when you're playing at home, but they're not, and they had a practice, or they're playing at home, and it's great. Where like you guys were talking with the softball girls earlier about how you were going to go to their game,
Yeah.
you know, just support them, especially as we get into the playoffs and when you're in the playoffs. And what's that relationship like with the baseball and softball program? Kind of a
It's
nice.
competitive,
Yeah,
but
it's
Yeah.
like they're like better record than us, playing better than us, so like they're up right now. But it's like it's a good balance. It's a good friendship between each other. They're always there supporting us. You know, we're planning on going to the game today, so you know.
Yep.
We're supporting them too. Yeah.
And we also want to thank the Green Wave Boosters for all the support that they do for all of the teams, whether it's buying more equipment or getting safety improvements to baseball and softball, and again every other sports program in Abington. If you're out there in Green Wave Nation, it's a great place to donate to the Abington Green Wave Boosters at Box 2140. Guys, as seniors, you're approaching the playoffs. The weather's turning. It's going to be warm. You've got a lot to look forward to. Any words out there you want to encourage your family and friends at Green Wave Nation to come by your games, or what to look forward to in the next couple of weeks? What do you guys envision as you head to the playoffs?
Give us something.
I know playoffs are always fun. They're always competitive games, especially last year. We had the semifinal game, went to 14 innings, and that was absurd. And then the game before that, we played Amesbury, and that game we think we were losing like
2-1.
2-1.
Yep.
And then we came back in the 6th inning.
Yeah.
So playoff games are always intense. They're always packed too. Always a ton of people there. So they're
It's the best of baseball in the
Yeah.
playoffs. You get some of the best teams, hopefully good weather,
Yeah.
and just a lot of fun. So as fans of Green Wave Nation, get out here and support the Green Wave baseball team as they approach and enter into the playoff rounds. Hopefully we'll have a couple of home games, but Abington Green Wave Nation, they travel well, and hopefully I'll see you there at one of the games supporting Henry, Steve, and John and all of their teammates. So, guys, thanks for jumping in on the Buzz today.
Thank
I
you
wish
for
you the
having
best of luck in the
Thanks for
next
having
couple
us.
of weeks.
Thank you.
And we will be back in the future with more episodes of The Buzz to let you know just how they did in the Green Wave postseason. So thanks for tuning in to The Buzz.